A while back, we wrote a wonderful book called Money and the Law of Attraction. Many people were eager to know how to put money into the equation. And from that, Jerry chose 60 predominant statements, our favorites and his. And we think that this 60-card deck of affirmation cards represents the best vibrational latitude that anyone could achieve for the allowing of well-being on all fronts, not just financial, to flow into your experience. But we also know that when you're standing fixated on the problem of not enough money, that these cards are as much a curse as a blessing. Because when you affirm what you want, when you're feeling strong absence of it, you just get defensive, don't you? I can earn money by doing what I love to do. Right. The story I tell is the basis of my life. That's not good news. My every story is attracting its vibrational match. Oh, kill me now. I can see my world through the eyes of Source. My source must be blind. My attention to unwanted attracts more unwanted. Damn. When you are standing in a place of not feeling good, not having what you want, not seeing the evidence of the prosperity that you want, and from that place of real fear or deep frustration or even anger, you make an effort to get it right. Your effort backfires because you're efforting against resistance. In other words, law of attraction doesn't effort against resistance. Law of attraction waits until you're a cooperative component and then just draws you with the other cooperative components, you see. So, why would we so unwisely create such beautiful affirmations if they are so unuseful to those who need them most? Because need and desire are different frequencies. Because problems and solutions are different frequencies. Because we know that sometimes you'll be in the vibration of solution. Sometimes you'll be in the vortex. Sometimes you'll be tuned in, turned on, tapped into who you really are. Sometimes you will have just made love with your lover and you will be so high on life. Sometimes you will have just seen a rainbow or a sunset. Sometimes you will have been petting your cat or listening to music. Sometimes you will have just come out of meditation. You will be feeling absolutely no resistance whatsoever. And when under those conditions from inside the vortex, you read or affirm, my life is as good as I allow it to be, sweet music to my ears. I'll read the other side of that card. I am always receiving the essence of what I am giving. So good to be in charge of my life. Welcome to planet Earth. You are here to have and seek joy. I can follow the trail of good feeling thoughts. In my appreciation, I allow myself to receive wonderful things. From inside the vortex, these feel so good. Goosebumps ripple up and down your body. And while you affirm from inside the vortex, you tune your frequency there. You practice the frequency of it. What good is that? It makes you less likely to be out of the vortex. It makes you more solution-oriented, less problem-oriented. It cues you up. It firms you up. It establishes your vibrational position in the universe, and everything in your world then shifts because your point of attraction shifts. You spend a day aware of the vortex and doing your best to get in, and once you know you're in, stay in. Milk it, milk it, milk it, affirm from inside the vortex. You shift your point of attraction so dramatically that every relationship that you have immediately shifts. because you're no longer a match to the components of that person you work with, or that person you work for, or that person you live with, or those people that you know. You are no longer the same vibrational match to the people at the diner, or to the people in traffic, or to the people with whom you place your orders, or with the people with whom you co-create. When you shift your point of attraction, everything shifts. Everything shifts. Everything shifts. And as it shifts from inside the vortex, it shifts for the better. You keep that up a little bit. People watching you will say, "What is your magic?" And you'll say, "I stopped trying so hard. I discovered that effort was counterproductive, because the time I felt that I needed to offer the most effort was at the time I was offering the most resistant vibration. And I discovered I could not buck my own current. All I did was wear myself down, break myself down, defeat myself, and make it harder." So what did you decide to do, they ask. If you stop effort, won't the world come to a screeching halt? Then they really come after you. Well, if nobody went to work, then what kind of a world would it be? Happier. But that's not what we're suggesting. We're not saying don't go to work. We're saying don't go unless you're in the vortex. We're not saying don't have a meaningful conversation. We're saying don't have it unless you're sure you're in the vortex. We're not saying don't offer action. We are saying let action be inspired from inside the vortex, and the action not only will be profoundly more productive. Oh, the leverage from inside the vortex is almost uncalculatable. The effort from inside the vortex, the leverage from inside the vortex is huge, because you have the energy that creates worlds flowing through you, and the cooperative components are immense. But we're not encouraging you to offer effort from outside the vortex, because it backfires. A few years back, we wrote a book with the best title ever given to a book. Ask and it is given. And it was speaking about exactly that. Because when you ask, even with a soft preference, the vibrational part of you, the non-physical part of you, the source energy part of you, the God force part of you, doesn't just answer the request, it becomes the vibrational equivalent of the solution. So if you've got a problem, the solution is there immediately, because you can't have a problem without asking for the solution. You can't have a question without asking for the answer. And in this magnificent universe where you ask, source answers. Where you ask, it is given. That's what's happening. So when we say to you, do you know what you're wanting? And some of you say, well, I don't think I know it in the fullest. I just know that right now this chair is not as comfortable as I would like it to be. Or right now I know that I wish my kids were behaving better back home, where I locked them in a room and said, I'll be back. Be good. But we want you to know that there is this amassed vortex that not only knows what you want, but is what you want. It's the vibrational version of all that you have been requesting that has already been amassed, and all cooperative components have already been drawn to it. Do you know that for everything you want, cooperative components are immediately available? That's why there can and should be immediate manifestation of the things that you want, because when you ask, it is given vibrationally. But there is this lag that happens with so many of you. We've been giving the buffer of time the credit for it. In other words, we've been saying to you for a long time that when you want something, there is usually a buffer of time between your identification that you want it and the showing up of it, the manifesting of it, the actualization of it in your life experience. But we want you to know that the only reason that there is that lag is because when you launch your preference, when you amend your desire again and again and again, as you do all day, every day, you are usually not up to speed. You're not a cooperative component to what you're asking for. And the reason that you are not, sometimes, often, usually, a vibrational match to what you're asking for is because you are so oriented. You're so deciphering the present manifestation. So when your present reality shows you something that you want, most of you are still so actively involved in explaining what's wrong with the present reality that you prevent yourself from being a cooperative component to what you are looking for. You know, a question has a vibration, and an answer has a vibration. But the vibrational difference between the question and the answer is a big vibrational difference. A problem has a vibration. A solution has a vibration. But there's a vibrational variance between the problem and the solution that keeps you from being a cooperative component to the solution. So it's really interesting thing to see that when you ask for something, immediately the source within you, we call that your inner being, the whole of you, becomes an immediate vibrational match to what you're asking for. And law of attraction gathers the cooperative components to it, so there is an immediate attraction of everything that you are asking for. But if you're still beating the drum of what is, I don't have enough money, I don't know what I'm going to do, I've never had enough money, I don't know hardly anybody who has enough money. As you beat the drum of what is, you hold yourself vibrationally apart from what you are really wanting. Now, the best news in all of that is every time you do that, you can feel your vibrational discord. We have enjoyed this interaction more than words can convey. This has been a delicious unfolding, and one of our favorites ever, in that there has been so much obvious manifestation on the heels of vibrational work of different people who have been in the audience. Haven't you enjoyed that? And don't you love knowing that manifestation is so close on the heels that you could call it instant manifestation? And don't you want to begin observing the manifestations, wanted and unwanted, as you reflect back the vibrational stance that you had going? Don't you think that this understanding is going to put you in the driver's seat of everything that's going to be coming to you from now on? And aren't you eager to offer a vibration, a thought deliberately, and then watch the manifestation that follows? Aren't you eager to let the universe show you how you're doing? And aren't you willing to embrace it, whether it's wanted or unwanted, as you then explore the details of how it felt while you were generating the vibration of it, and how it felt as the manifestation came to show you what you'd generated? Don't you love knowing that you get to create how you feel, because you get to create the thoughts you think, and that the manifestation will then reflect it back to you in real time? Don't you love knowing? Haven't you sometimes thought that what manifestations are down the road relationships, or down the road businesses, or down the road success, or down the road empires, or down the road improved bodily conditions? In other words, I want to lose 40 pounds. Well, hopefully that's going to be down the road. Because if you lose it today, it's going to hurt. So, don't you love knowing that so many of these manifestations seem like these big pinnacle points, and that what manifestation also means is the conversation that I'm going to have when I leave this room. It also means the way people are going to treat me in traffic. It also means what I'm rendezvousing with from my memory. It also means the timing I'm going to have when the phone rings, whether the person that I'm picking up the phone and meeting with is the person that I really want to talk to. In other words, matching vibration, manifesting evidence of what I'm doing vibrationally. It is so delicious to interact with deliberate creation. And it is so delicious to interact on a leading edge discussion with those who have decided to be deliberate creators. It is our pleasure to play with you. And it is our absolute promise to you that what's waiting for you in your vortex is so close to be manifested that it's as soon as today that you will see the evidence of the work that you've done here. Lots of evidence. In other words, watch for it and note it. If we were standing in your physical shoes, the words that we would say several times as you're wrapping up this day: I am the creator of my own reality. I am the conjurer of my own mood. I am the keeper of my own attitude. I am the releaser of my own vibrational butterflies. And law of attraction is the master facilitator to match up those frequencies and to deliver to me manifestational evidence for one purpose and one purpose only: to help me in the deliberateness of my creative endeavor. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain expectantly, joyously